This track was made primarily using samples from my new pack, Honey Vintage Soul Sessions. And in this video I'm going to break down exactly how I made it and show you everything that's in the pack. So when you download the pack you get the zip file, and once you've unzipped it you get this folder. So this is the premium pack, and in here you get 5 folders with all the samples. In the first folder you get the original samples. Each track has its own folder and there are 10 tracks in total. These are the samples before any extra processing, which we'll get into in just a second. So if we look in this folder, you get a mixture of different samples. Firstly, you get the stems such as bass, guitar, keys, organ. But then you also get the song starter samples. Now this full song starter is a longer version of up to a minute, but any of the song starter files are fully produced tracks just without drums. The individual song starters are looped versions, so these have already been chopped up into loops for you. All the samples are also labelled with key and tempo, so this one here is 80 beats per minute and is C sharp minor. You also get what's called a melodic stack, which is a combination of more melodic elements such as glockenspiel, pizzicato strings or electric piano melodies. You also get the isolated vocal tracks, which include both dry and wet versions. Then we get into the processed samples. So if we look in the second folder, you can see these are all processed with reel-to-reel tape. So generally these sound warmer because the tape gives the low end a boost, and you do lose some high end because of that, but that is just tape and you have to embrace all the imperfections that come along with that. Now the next folder here is SP303, and all these samples have been processed with my Boss SP303 classic hardware sampler from the early 2000s, and I've used the effects preset called Vinyl Sim. The next folder we've got is cassette tape. We have 3 different versions at different speeds. So this one is at normal speed. We've also got faster versions. And then the slower versions. And then the final folder is full of sample chops. Now these are just examples of the kind of things you can do with these samples. Generally these are at faster tempos because they're more suited to upbeat hip hop or boom bap. You can also make your own sample chops, which I'll show you shortly. So like I say, there's a couple of ways you can work with the samples. The first one, just an audio file that I've dragged in here. It's one of the vocal samples.
I just wanna know if...
Yeah, so that's the dry sample, and then I've just put my own reverb and processing on.
I just wanna know if...
So when you drag these samples in, they are going to be whatever tempo they were created at. Drag that in. So that one's too slow, so you would need to time compress it in Logic. I'll just do that there, like so.
I just wanna know if you feel the same.
That's one way to do it. And then the other is a plugin called Momentum, which is by Big Fish Audio. And this is free. They do a premium version as well, but I just use the free version. It's got everything I need for chopping up samples. In this first track with Momentum on it, I have got Feel the Same, and this is just a keyboard sample. That is being triggered from the MIDI track here. So those MIDI notes are corresponding to parts of the sample that has been split up. I just set the grid to every quarter note. It chopped up the sample for me and then spread it across the keyboard like that. Then we also have another Momentum, which is triggering a sample called A Beautiful Place. And this is actually a sample chop already, so I am chopping up a chop, but that's okay. There are no rules to this. And here's what this sounds like. So this one is being used mainly as a bass, and if we look at the effects tab here, let's first of all look at the filter. So the filter is taking out a lot of that high end, but then occasionally these slicers here are also bringing in higher frequencies. That way you can choose which ones you want to hear full frequency and which ones you want to hear high frequency bypassed. Also, I've got the delay on certain slicers, so that is just affecting these two slicers here, but I'm also using the feedback to sustain those delays on parts of the sample. Yeah, it just adds a little bit of creativity. And then on this third track where we've got Momentum, we've got heartbeats, and that's what this one sounds like. So I actually had to take out a lot of bass using the filter. So this one's actually a high pass rather than low pass. This one just worked really well when I added it to the other two. I did have to tune this one, so this one is +4 semitones. Remember, we're actually using 3 different samples from 3 different tracks, so they weren't designed to go together, but this is how they turned out. And then we bring in the rest of the track, so the vocal samples which I've already played you, and drums which I got from Splice. So this is how it all sounds. So there you go, that's what this sample pack is all about. Try different samples, get creative with them, mix and match. I hope this has given you some ideas so that you can apply that to your own beat making. And if you want to grab the pack, the link's in the description. Just use code SOULFLIP20 for an extra 20% off. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.